The Earth is covered in remarkably lethal environments, places where human biology stands absolutely no chance. Raging forest fires, radioactive cores, and bubbling rivers of magma. Please do not roast marshmallows over the magma, Jack. We talked about this. But if we ignore the active death traps and look strictly at standard climate data, where exactly on the surface of this rock is the hottest? Most people would confidently guess Death Valley in North America. And it's not a terrible guess. Over a century ago, in 1913, the aptly named Furnace Creek recorded an official temperature of 56.7 degrees Celsius. That equates to roughly 134 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cause your internal organs to shut down in a matter of hours. According to official meteorological statistics, that measurement remains the highest air temperature ever recorded on the planet. However, weather stations have a massive flaw. They measure the temperature of the air in the shade, suspended exactly 1.5 meters above the ground. As anyone who has walked barefoot across a beach at noon can tell you, the actual ground in direct sunlight is drastically hotter than the air above it. The sand absorbs the solar radiation and violently bakes anything touching it. Yes, Jack, exactly like an egg. Furthermore, relying on physical weather stations is an incredibly inefficient way to collect global data. There are only about 11,000 official stations on Earth. Statistically, that equates to roughly one station for every 13,000 square kilometers. Our network is full of massive blind spots. The most extreme, blistering deserts on the planet are completely uninhabitable, making the installation of delicate weather equipment highly impractical. So, to find the true, absolute hottest physical surface on Earth, we cannot rely on thermometers attached to sticks. We have to stop looking from the ground and start looking down from orbit. Every single day, NASA utilizes the Terra and Aqua satellites to scan the entire planet from space. These magnificent pieces of orbital machinery are equipped with specialized instruments called spectroradiometers. Unlike shade thermometers, these sensors detect the actual infrared radiation, the pure, blistering heat radiating directly off the physical surface of the Earth. The resolution is quite broad, averaging the temperature over an entire square kilometer at a time. However, scanning every single square kilometer of the Earth daily provides a dataset 13,000 times vastly superior to ground stations. And thanks to this orbital surveillance, we finally found the true winner for the absolute hottest square kilometer on the planet. Spoiler alert, it is absolutely not Furnace Creek. When measured from space, the ground in Death Valley only clocked a surface temperature of 62.7 degrees Celsius, basically a tanning bed. It is also not the highly publicized scorched wheat plateau located in the Lut Desert of Iran, despite their repeated claims. However, those claims were very, very close. The true, undisputed hottest place on Earth is an adjacent portion of that very same Lut Desert. In 2005, satellite sensors detected a surface temperature in the Lut Desert that reached an apocalyptic 70.7 degrees Celsius. For those of you relying on the imperial system, that is an astounding 159.3 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not just hot. This is a level of heat that fundamentally breaks down organic matter. To put this into perspective, 70 degrees Celsius is exactly 1 degree hotter than what is required for the proteins in an egg yolk to completely coagulate. In other words, if you were to walk barefoot across the Lut Desert, you would not just burn your feet. As Jack is currently demonstrating, you would literally cook the proteins in your own skin, exactly like dropping a sneaker into a frying pan. So, the next time you complain about a summer heat wave in your air-conditioned home, just remember that somewhere in Iran, the ground is currently hot enough to cook your breakfast. No toaster oven required. Stay hydrated. Your structural integrity depends on it.